What's up, Imperials? It's Analyzing Star Wars here, and today I'm going to be doing a very quick book review on Outbound Flight for you guys. Hopefully everybody should know that Thrawn Treason came out on the 23rd this past Tuesday, and unfortunately I actually went out of town the day it came out, so I was not able to get the book before I went on a trip. So I decided to, a couple days before, get Outbound Flight, which is a prequel to Heir to the Empire. It is a Legends book. It takes place right before the Clone Wars, and I wanted to read this because I wanted to get to know Admiral Ar'alani before I read Thrawn Treason. So, and I really just want to know her character. I didn't expect to learn a lot from this book, but I learned a lot from this book. It was a really good read, and I'm really good that I did read it. It's all about this Outbound Flight. This is 6 dreadnoughts attached to a central core that holds all the supplies, and it was supposed to be a project that the Republic hosted, quote unquote, that went into the unknown regions and kind of explored down there, and they found some hospital planets and they can stay there and drop some people off and then go back to the Republic and report what they did. And Jedi Master Jorith Sabaoth was the one who led it. Most of you guys should know him from the Heir to the Empire trilogy. If you've read that, he is the cloned Sith in that trilogy that Thrawn uses to his part of the plan, kind of manipulates and stuff like that. But in this book, he's a Jedi, and so you get to see his transition to the dark side in this. So it was really cool getting to actually see him as a Jedi and how he was with his Padawans and all the other Jedi around him, and how kind of arrogant he was, because he was a very arrogant and prideful Jedi Master. And it really goes into that, like his Padawan, Lorana Jinsler, she's 22 in the book, and she still has yet to become a Jedi Knight, and she feels like her power isn't enough for him, so he keeps holding her back, and he's never going to let her become a Jedi Knight. And because of his arrogance, he's not a Qui-Gon Jinn, he's not an Obi-Wan, he's not trying to become her friend, he's do this, and this, and if you don't do it right, you're not doing it at all, he's kind of that Jedi Master. And even Obi-Wan and Anakin can see that in here, because they're in this book, they have quite a presence in this book, and even they can see oh wow, yeah, he's very arrogant and very prideful, and even Obi-Wan's like, bro, you need to watch where you're going, because this is not the Jedi way. But he also has to be careful, because Jorith Sabaoth is very powerful and has a lot of influence, so he can't overstep his line there. So it was that's a really interesting part of this book. Another is Thrawn as a Chiss Admiral. He's the youngest in this. He's the youngest Chiss Admiral to ever become, an admiral in the Chiss Ascendancy, which was really cool to learn about. It just shows really how smart Grand Admiral Thrawn is, and how vital he is to both the Chiss Ascendancy and to the Empire and canon, thinking that, or showing that it doesn't matter your age, it all requires skill, tactics, how you go about things, and this book really proved that about Thrawn. But going into Admiral Ar'alani's character, she, despite all the Chiss, she actually wears a white uniform, much like Grand Admiral Thrawn does in Rebels, and now Thrawn Treason, and later in Thrawn Alliances. So, and I think that's where Timothy Zahn got the idea, and kind of where Dave Filoni all kind of met up with this, because she's a commander, I believe. No, she's an admiral. Thrawn's a commander in this book. But she's very to the books as well. She's very smart, and she works hand in hand with Thrawn, and they cooperate on all these very intricate plans together. And she's kind of she wears a hard hat. I mean, she's very, this is my job, and I'm going to do my job to my fullest, and if you're going to do anything against the Chiss code or the Defense Fleet code, then you're out of here. But she's incredibly smart, and she really stands up for Thrawn in some of the moments that he's being tested in his trials, and along with the Republic soldiers with Thrawn at the time. And you know what? it's an incredible read, and it goes into it's like I said, it's a prequel, so you can see how Thrawn gets involved with the Republic and how that all comes together. Clearly, he's not going to join the Empire, or he's not going to join them until later in the years when it becomes the Empire. But it does talk about how Sidious and Palpatine are creating this. Sidious and Palpatine, same person, are creating this new order, and then one of the Palpatine and Sidious's right-hand man, this guy doesn't know that Sidious and Palpatine are the same person, but he knows that, and he knows what they're creating, and it goes into that. It shows that, yeah, we're making this new order, and like, this is going to be a good thing, and stuff like that. But then, like, touching on Sidious, he does go into Sidious. Like, in the book, it presents Sidious and Palpatine as two different people, and I know it, like, most of that is what's in, like, the prequels and stuff like that, and and in the original trilogy. But I mean, I often overlook it because I know Sidious is Palpatine, and I know Palpatine is Sidious, so that's always a thing I overlook. But that's really cool how they touch on that, how this Doriana guy, I think Doriana is a personal aide to Palpatine, but he's also a personal aide to Sidious, and I think that's really cool. He's like, because Sidious even plays off that, he's like, yeah, well, how does Palpatine think about this? And then he goes into, like, okay, well, Palpatine doesn't suspect anything. I gave myself extra leeway to do these things. So it's really cool to see just how much he manipulated people. And I know you see, like, and I know he does that in the original trilogy too, and, like, how he doesn't use the Force around people, like how he says in Lords of the Sith. But I love reading about that, just how, like, fooled he had everyone. So I thought that was really cool. But overall, this book is a great read. I was very shocked. I read it in 4 days. But I would highly recommend this book just because it does go into one of my favorite characters, Thrawn, and it is during the Clone Wars era, and it's actually before the Clone Wars, but it does go into that, and I absolutely love that. So if you're looking for a new book to pick up, and if you haven't read the canon Thrawn trilogy, or if you've read the Legends Thrawn trilogy, definitely go back and read this book. It's definitely I would give it like a solid 8 out of 10. It's definitely very interesting, and I would definitely say definitely a lot. I would read it again. But thanks for watching, guys. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow me on Instagram at Analyzing Star Wars. And may the Force be with you guys.